Hi, welcome back to Business Bytes for the Corporate Soul. Today we're going to speak a little bit about anger management. It's something that happens to the best of us and on a more or less intense basis and different kind of frequency. But every one of us has to deal with the upwelling of anger that we feel inside of ourselves that is often brought about when we're in a work environment. We have to be working with other people, collaborating on a project, and we get upset, or even in our own homes. So how do we deal with it? The first thing to remember is that anger is a secondary emotion. When we look at the emotions in the soul, the powers of the soul that are drawn from the primordial sphirot, we see that the first sphere, the first emotion, is chesed, loving kindness, and that in the body corresponds to the right shoulder. The left shoulder is gevura, severity or fear, where there is a holy fear. Obviously, each one of these could be holy or unholy. You can love your pleasures and pursue them, or you can love God and you can be afraid of God, or you could be afraid of everything else in the world. And that's basically most of the human race manifesting some kind of neurosis right out there, because they're not really focusing on fearing God. But our primary desire comes from this right shoulder, from the sphere of love. I want to be loved. And when I have been violated in that sense, or I feel that my ego has been violated, it's not that it means I have been violated, it could be my perception. I flee to this city over here, to the city of anger. It's almost like an unholy city of refuge. Where am I going to run? I'm hurt, and instead of being in that vulnerable space of saying, I feel hurt, I don't feel loved or appreciated, respected, I run to that city of anger. How do I get out of it? So the Alter Rebbe in Tanya tells us a fascinating thing. It's chapter 32. He's speaking about the obligation to love our fellow as ourselves. And in that chapter, it's the heart, one could say, of Tanya. 32 in Hebrew is lamed and beis. It spells the word lave. The Rebbe addresses how to get connected to our heart and really feel love for another person. And he says, what happens if someone has violated you? Or let's not use that word that you've been violated, but we experience that we've been wronged, or someone is doing something that is really wrong and I'm angry with them. It's not just that you've hurt me, but I'm upset with you because you've done something wrong. And I'm caught over here in this feeling, this experience of anger. But I have an obligation to love you. So the Rebbe says, I can't many times run from here to here. I cannot get from my anger and my resentment to a place of love. He says, if you want to deal with anger in any circumstance in life, if it's at work, if it's at home, we have to reroute. That means instead of working with trying to move across, I come down to my heart center, to the lave, and there I awaken compassion. The heart center is connected with the sphere of Tiferes. It's literally beauty or harmony, but it's associated in terms of our emotional ways of being in the world with the attribute of empathy or sympathy, feeling the other, taking myself out of where I am and into the space of the other. And I look at this person, don't personalize the situation, and awaken compassion, meaning feeling this. I feel pity for you that you are in such a negative space. If you told me something that I have to rectify in myself and I'm hurt, well, that's just my ego and I have to get over it. But if you're doing something wrong, you're really behaving inappropriately, the first step, before I can try and fix that and have the conversation, this is what needs to happen, the first step is move to the heart center. I awaken in myself compassion for this person that her soul is in exile. She's really caught. Why is she behaving so rudely or, speaking behind other people's backs and destroying the group feeling that we have, why is she doing a whole host of things that I don't like? It must be because her soul is in exile. She's in pain and suffering. And when I touch that place and I awaken my compassion for her for being in such a state of exile, at that moment I can re-access my feeling of love. The Rebbe connects us to a verse in the Torah, in Tanakh, Yaakov asher poda es Avraham, that Jacob redeems Abraham. Abraham, our father, is connected to loving kindness, Isaac to awe and fear, severity, and Jacob to compassion. So we're saying when you're in a place that is connected to severities and negative feelings, don't push yourself to come back to the love immediately. Awaken the compassion, and that will take you back into the loving space. Once we are there, now I can deal with the problem, speak to my colleague, to my employee, speak to a member of my family, whoever it's going to be, but I'm coming at it from a different place. And then we are taught Dvarim hayotzim min halev, words that go out from the heart, nechnosim al halev, enter into the heart. Because I'm dealing with my anger differently and coming from a healthy and holy place, then my words are likely to be accepted. Until we meet next time, have a wonderful week.